Okay, that's what I'm on the hunt for. This, excuse me, this Trader Joe's chocolate. I don't know how they made me want this. Is it, here, I didn't even show you. There you go. So, Trader Joe's, or my phone tries to send me articles that they assume that I'd want, and I try to not click on them because I don't want to feed their algorithm and just get a bunch of the same stuff. But I mean, it's a pretty safe bet. I'm gonna like the chocolate, right? So I try to ignore this ad or article about this Dubai style chocolate, but while I was trying to ignore it, Joel went and got some, what is it, pistachio chocolate from a corner store, and it reminded me like, oh, I think that's that stuff. So now it's like full on, I'm gonna find this. I went to the Trader Joe's this morning because the guy 2 days ago said it would be there, and it wasn't. So I was like, oh, all right. But they said it was gonna be in stock on the 13th. So I'm gonna eat some chocolate on the 13th. But that's, it was like a sad walk today over to the Trader Joe's. Sorry, we don't have it. Let's see. Where would you be? There. I don't remember which button. This one. Hey, there we go. Yeah, so that's my current focus is delicious chocolate. The one we had from the corner store, it was all right. I guess it has, ooh, thanks for the follow. Let's see. It's all that delicious chocolate talk. Richie, good to see ya. Yeah, so it's just regular chocolate. It's filled with some sort of pistachio filling with, I'm gonna say this wrong, it's a phyllo dough in like shredded or something. It sounds really good. I don't remember it having that doughiness from the convenience store one. So I'm curious. They got me. And now that I talked about it, I'm just gonna get fed nothing but chocolate ads. I do love chocolates. Yeah, if I say a word, it just pops up on my feed. I made the mistake of mentioning Billie Eilish, and now that I've done it again, it's gonna be game on. But yeah, my phone was like, hey, check this out. Here she is. Like, the context was, I only like a couple of her songs. Don't feed me all the stuff. Then you went and fed me all the stuff. Speaking of feeding stuff, ever since I've been working on this, we've been eating popcorn. It was delicious. This is pretty much done. I said I was going to put an extra dark thing on the side of their cups, so I should do that. I grabbed some new paper. This was a scratch piece from something Joel was working on. He makes patches because he doesn't work digitally, so if he has to correct something, he has to cut out a piece of paper and glue it onto his board. So this is kind of leftovers from that. Eon's a pretty good paper company for comic stuff. This particular one was manga size, and I think it's plate. I was trying to look it up online real quick, and I think it's plate. It's not for watercolor, it's for just inking comic stuff. So I bet you it's gonna buckle, but it feels a lot like the hot press that I was using. It's somewhere in between. I was gonna grab some from a Bristol pad that we have, but it had more texture to it. So I was just trying to go for the feels. So this I'm gonna do with Micron and some watercolor stuff. And these two fancy watercolor papers, I'm just gonna do some, nothing specific, some watercolor bloomy stuff in the back. This one is rough. Let's see. I'll show you. Hi Vince, how are you? So yeah, the one on the right is rough and the one on the left is hot press. And this is the plate on the, now I do like the rough. I was surprised. How have you been doing, Vince? What have you been up to? Cinnamon tea, I finally caught you live. Hooray! Good to see you here. Yeah, you're just in time to see me enjoy the differences, like enjoy and be frustrated at the differences of these watercolor papers. So, okay, what should I do first? Should I just, maybe first I'll work on the, are you winning in art? Asks Vince. Always winning, but never over the finish line winning. Just like ahead, not done. Okay, this looks dark. Let me see. Can I do that and do this and go the right way? One more? We'll give that a try. It's a little overexposed, but that's okay. She says, feel that. Yeah. I'm currently in the process of winning, but haven't crossed the line yet. All right, so I stole some of Joel's watercolor. Let's see, these are mine. This is where I keep my special ones. Ah, through it. Oof. The crazy granulating effects ones that have limited use as far as I've been using them anyway. But Joel also has a few. These are his. They kind of had they did a glossy thing here too. There's a lot of good Manny colors in here, which will be good for me messing around with that manga paper. I think I like this one. Some of these don't look like much. They look like, yeah, I don't want to say, kind of gross, but yeah, we'll see. This is nice. I think this is cold pressed watercolor paper. So let's see what it does on paper that it isn't intended for. Rafael, hi in Brazil. I don't speak that language, but you're welcome to watch me make mistakes. Will I ever win? Can I ever win? Says Richie. Who even knows? You just keep going. Celebrate the little triumphs. Okay, so then let's see. I said, so what was I using? I think a lot of shadow color I was using was my Payne's Gray. So let's see. Cinnamon, what have you been up to? Do you usually hang out in the art area of Twitch? Let's see. Okay, this one, all right. And it goes like this. I'm getting sloppier with my paint. I'm kind of trying to leave it sloppy because one of my favorite painters just has a super like mushy mixed up palette, and it transfers into his artwork and it looks really nice. Oh, James Lee Stone, hey, how are you? Yeah, well, the art area is where all the coolest people are. I agree. Yeah, where was I when I, oh yay, a slap. I adjusted the volume, so hopefully that didn't bust your eardrums. Thank you, James. I needed that. Let's see. So there's my Payne's Gray. Let's try to not mess all my stuff up. I made it real sticky, I guess. Maybe I'll have to adjust that. Yeah, that's a little. The sticker gets tinier the higher my hand goes. Oh, when I first went to Twitch, just to watch things, I was watching tech stuff. Oh, thank you, James. super. This is only seasonal for Mork now. Mork is in Australia, and it's gonna be winter over there. So it stays. Getting ready for Phoenix. Oh, Fan Fusion, right? I haven't been there in a while. Let's see. Do you go every year? You're in Vegas, right? So hold on. I gotta adjust my chair. All right, perfect. So let's get my favorites. The crew. Doop. Pretty much. What was that? There's a hotel. We used to stay at the hotel right across from the convention center. But I just, after a while, all I could remember was the elevator lines after the convention. You had to wait so long just to get to your room. And all you wanted to do was relax after the show. And you just had a big old long line, wait for the elevator. So there's another hotel around the corner that we liked better. I liked better. It had like an Art Deco vibe to it. Something garden, I forgot what it was called. We used to split hotels when we first started going to conventions. Focus. But I just don't want to share anymore. I want, you know what happens? Because someone who you're sharing with decides it's a great idea to bring people up. It's like, no! It was fine a while back. Now I'm just cranky and old, I guess. Let's see. Did I thought I changed. Oh, I know why. Okay. Okay. There we go. Oh. Okay, phew. It's like, what did I... Looking at stuff upside down and backwards presents challenges. Okay, so let's leave that at that. Okay, and now... Okay, phew. All right. Cranky and old is the way to be. Yeah, I love the quiet, but I miss the sharing of the bill. Nothing worse than convention prices in hotels. Oh, I even have little cups here. Maybe. Let's try it. Can't afford to stay close. We're a group and stay just above bus stop sleeping. Just above bus stop sleeping. So that's gonna be just motel, right? What, you and 5 of your favorite people in a motel room? You gotta do it, you gotta do it. And I think I need a little more paint in that.
when the drum beats go like this.
3 of us for now. Until it gets later and those last minute people are like, oh, can I crash with you? Is that what happens? Oh, I remember that. For San Diego Comic-Con, we used to live a 12-minute Uber away from the convention center, and we got a lot of those phone calls. Some people had like a permanent stay for that convention, but yeah, it invited a lot of those. Hey, friend. Let's say I just stayed at your house for close to a week. That looks rounder. There. We need more space. Let's add a friend to save on extra table cost. Oh, loving the music. Thank you, Richie. Appreciate it. I added, I think, 3 more songs. I think it's probably once a year I can finally find 3 songs that I like to add, and I add them. So you're just in time for some new ones. I have a artlist.io license, so that way I could just leave the music on in all the streaming stuff, VODs, whatever. But it's hard to find things. Some of it is like, I like it, but it's too attention grabby to be background music. But sometimes you can, in the case of a lot of these songs, you can take the words out, and that helps a bunch. All right, I think I'm gonna just cut this off the artboard. Cinnamon tea, bopping. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna cut it. Here we go. This is a very artistic knife. This is the one I use to re-ink my ink pad with. Okay, so how thick is this paper? Am I gonna cut 2 pieces off? Does it even matter? Hold on, is that 1 piece? Yeah, I think it is. This stuff is thick. That paper is like, or the glue is scary. I feel like this shouldn't be that difficult. Am I doing it wrong? I think that's right. I think that's right. That's gotta be. Let's keep going. I used to use Pretzel Rock Logic for royalty-free music. I don't recognize Pretzel Rock. And you know what? Even with having a license to use this music, I still had to like defend it. This is so weird. It's like pulling up a bunch of gluey stuff. I don't remember it being this hard. Somebody did a copyright on me for music that I pay to have a license for. Apple Music or a company that claims their name is Apple Music on YouTube tried to take my ad. I don't even have ad revenue, but you don't want a copyright thing on your account. So all I did was upload my like, what do you do an appeal or something like that? And I had a license number and all that stuff. So they reversed it. But I thought, what a scam. They were claiming it was a song that it wasn't. So I don't know if they did it or an artist who works for them just kind of stole it. I don't know. I just don't let OBS record my audio track so it doesn't turn up on my VODs. Yeah, I've seen that as a solution a bunch. And then I go back to watch a VOD and the streamer's like, you know, to silence. They're like, sometimes they're singing along. I thought that's funny. Ah, my goodness. That was a thing. So it has a bunch of glue on the top. That's weird. I'll just, I guess, paper slice that off. You can sign it right there, itty bitty. So this was this paper. I think it's cold press, and we have a lot of that. It's 100% cotton, so that's preferable, I guess. You don't have to get that. You can be perfectly fine with less expensive paper. All right, so let's do a tiny signature. Basic, that's fine. All right, so I don't even want to count the minutes this one took. I only worked on it on stream, I believe. So it's like a full month of streams, but it's like a couple hours working on it, chatting. So let's see. These guys. I got a notice for a song that was written 400 years ago on Facebook, Twitch. How do you find the writer of the song? Yeah, doesn't that fall under public domain by that point? Mm-hmm. Like a copyright for some like classical music. Oh, I was like, what did I take notes for? Those are Wes Anderson movies. I'm supposed to look up what in the world. And Alex says, slap is too loud, fix it, which I finally did. There you go. All right, so I got the rough, I got the hot press, and then I got some regular comic book plate, something or other. So I think I'm gonna start by putting some sort of wash behind Grump, because I remember this paper wasn't as absorbent as this one. So if I go 1, 2, 3, maybe I could return to this one and it'll be ready for another color or something. Let's see. Shadow! Hi! I like your bird. I know that bird. Tom Thanks. There you go. All right. Let's change this. And what would be a good color for the background? I can go crazy pink. That's a periwinkle color though. I should save that for her. Grump doesn't always need to be green and gray. I think I might have an interesting one here though. I don't try this one very much. It's a green with some reds in it. Let's see. Maybe I'll do both. this kind of peacock bluish green with burgundy in it. I can go top this and then bottom that. I hear Beth likes orange backgrounds. I love orange. I didn't used to. It's my favorite color. It doesn't look good on me though, but sometimes I'll wear it anyway. Yeah, orange, it's like the mix of sunshine and candy. What is not to like? Okay, so let's not mess that up. Get this over here. Okay, everything in its place. Maybe I'll try this brush. I messed this one up pretty good yesterday because I'm trying to tell the difference between these new fancy watercolor papers. So it's rough, hot press, and cold press. And I like to do draw with pencil first and then do micron and then watercolor over it, which I don't think is maybe the way you're supposed to use these. That's what I like to do though. So I'm trying to figure out a way, can I use these papers the way I want to, or do I have to change everything? So it turns out the micron did not like the rough paper. It dried it out pretty bad. But then I started using the platinum carbon ink on one of these on the rough paper. It worked really well. So now I'm gonna have to get good at this. Maybe. Let's see. And then what, another thing I thought was interesting. So these are all 12 sheets. They're all, what else? Okay, 300. Is that grams per meter squared? And 40 pounds? Is that what that is? So they're all the same. 12 sheets. 12 sheets. And as you could imagine, the hot press is way thinner. I pulled out one page out of all of these. So the rough and the cold press are kind of the same. A hot press is just smushed a lot because it's a lot thinner. But it weighs the same, so is it denser? Is that even the right word? So we got hot press. Nice, and it feels like plate. And what did I say I was gonna do? Green, let's see. Who wants to live on the bottom? Or like that. Maybe the more vivid one on the bottom. The green. Yeah, James posts stuff that he's colored on Photoshop. His drawings too. But every time he throws in some orange background, I'm like, oh, look, he did it. He did it again. Yay. It's my favorite. Thank you, James. Seeing orange stuff and then having ice cream news. Those are my highlights. So, maybe because I want this to do that granulation thing, maybe maybe I won't do wet on wet. Like wet the paper first, I'll just do it dry. So it has more chance to do weird effects. I've lost my other, like Joel's little swatchy thing. Oh, Oh, is that it? No. I was thinking maybe there's one in there that I want to use. Hold on. Okay, 2 more looks. Oh, I know what happened, I bet. It went underneath all the stuff that I moved. Oh well, it's gone forever. So get this green one. Many times I think, what color? Ooh, Beth will like orange, especially on watercolor marker stuff. Yeah. The orange, that's a no-brainer. And then also that weird, it's not weird. It's like you do something, you're rocking out, Pitchy. James, you do something with a color, I think you put yellow over blue and it makes a neat minty green reflective light or something. I don't remember what it was. I liked it a lot, and I said, I like the green. And you're like, oh, I didn't use green. Okay, let's see. You can be here, you can be here, you can be here. So I feel like if I do this in like dabby, weird kind of uneven strokes, it has more chance to pull out some of the red. I think this one has the red, right? Some of the red out of the green. The Batman one, I think so. I think I saw in a couple of your pieces that secondary light. It's like I study one lesson and forget another. So one of the things that I was trying to practice a few weeks ago was more contrast, having the foreground lighter than the background, or the reverse of that, so it would pop up a bit more. So here's me studying that, trying to make the background way different. That's way different. I don't know about that, but at least 2 different kind of color ideas for the foreground and the background, so she stands out, right? So I'm going right back to the whole same backgrounds, kind of the same as foreground thing, because I'm playing with this paper and I've forgotten. I post so much sometimes, and I thank you for it. Silvestri Wolverine, I'd have to refresh my memory. It's already doing the red thing, so that's good. I changed my focus. You can kind of see it happening. Okay, let's try that. William, love your art. Thank you so much, William. How you doing over there? Okay, now you can kind of see those little dots of kind of blushiness in the green. It's gonna be all smushy like that. So let's try the other one. Oh, it's totally happening in my dish. tomorrow to California. Really? Southern California? Northern? You don't have to be exact because, you know, stranger danger and all that, but California's long. It's kind of rainy today. You're welcome. I'm currently in Colorado for work to fly back to Colorado for work. Well, I know someone who's going to Colorado to see, they're going to go on a tour for one of the hotels that Stephen King based The Shining off of. Okay, you're over here. I'm trying to remember. This was the bluish one. Yeah, sometimes I fill a layer with a soft brush with a bit of wild color on a masking layer and let the filters mess around with the results. I do that too. Yeah, that's fun. Why not fill around that way when you're working digitally? I'll get a cover to color. I don't color too much now, but every now and again something will come my way, and it's usually a really cool figure over nothing, like blank in the background. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I have to like fill the entire space with something interesting but not too distracting. So I'll put some, like, I have these watercolor sheets of paper that I scanned in a long time ago, and I'll use that in one of the layers, and then I will just kind of play around with levels or the mixing, what do you call it? Just the type of layer it is. Like hard light, screen, multiply, whatever. Until something interesting happens. There'll be a weird color combination that I like, but it looks good in one little corner in one spot. So I kind of have to reverse engineer to see like, okay, why does it look cool there and garbage everywhere else? And that's where the magic happens. All right, here, let's see. It's curling. Oh, it's already doing the thing. I see hints of magenta and some kind of bluish green, and then just mud color. Okay, let's see what I can do where they touch. All right, let's see what that dries like. It's so muddy. We'll set it aside. Here, let's see. My camera has taken all of the bluish green away. You can see it kind of right here, that little corner. There's a lot more in that area. It's not really showing up like that. This looks like a crime scene. Okay, so where do you want to dry? On my keyboard. How about that? Perfect. Okay, so let's see, this is the rough. Maybe like a nice super bright pink, and then oh, here it is. Yeah, I guess I'll have to guess which of the granulating colors I want to use. Where the heck did you go? Can't be nowhere. Oh, I found it. Hold on. Gonna dive. There it is. Look at that. fly back to Ontario Airport. That's a decent airport. We lived by it for a hot second. Okay, so there's like an interesting kind of dusty purple color here, right above my thumb. I could try that. So, let's see. That and that obnoxious opera pink. What? My computer is unhappy. Waved of garbage to get that little bit of magic, then promptly forget how to make said magic. Yeah. That's the whole thing. And I've even if I take notes, I kind of don't read them. Let's... All right, so, okay. Here's what we could do. We've got choices. Maybe something in this little triangle right here. So let's see. I can make it super hot pink, kind of in this area, and then as it radiates out, it could be that purpley color, and then when it gets down to the bottom, it could be the fancy schminke granulating color. How's that for a plan? It might be super weird. That's a good one too. Here, let's see what this one, this is kind of, these are both interesting. I'm gonna see what both of these look like on a separate piece of paper. Okay, go there. And what paper? Yeah, where's that card thing that I have? I got a fresh one. I don't want a fresh one. This stuff here. Don't get this. It's like this is the back side. This is the front where you would paint on, but that's the part you write your note on, and it's got all that stuff on it. They did it backwards, in my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna give myself 2 more looks, then I'm gonna grab a new piece. Sometimes it's like the 3rd time you look in the same area, it appears. And I like to think that's the gnomes. They took it and then they replaced it. Yeah, it's nowhere. No, this doesn't look thick enough. All right, I'll just use the weird manga paper. I'll show them. Tell them I showed you. Okay. Nobody knows. Okay, so these are the targets. This one and this one. try not to be sloppy. This isn't mine. This is stolen watercolor. It just doesn't look like it's doing much with that two-tone granulation. Oh, I can kind of see some lavender poking out through there. That's nice. Okay, darker one. Let's see. James, do you have a lot of stuff to get ready for the Phoenix Pan Fusion, or are you good and you get your stuff done ahead of time? Okay, what are you gonna do though? What's your trick? They're very similar maybe, but one has more red in it. Okay, so if that's true, then let's see. Let's grab the other colors. I said, let's see. I think it was these two. That's the opera pink, and I think it was 2 away. Oh no, they're right next to each other. These two. I bring just what I know moves. I bring just what I know moves. Prints, original art, and commissions. Yeah. That's how you do it. I bought more, I'm calling them vendalopes now. These particular envelopes I like to put in the vending machine. I need to make more of these neat little things that I'm stuffing my art vending machine with. So I got more of this cover stock paper that seemed to be easy to print on. And I have a ton of the inside paper. So I'm gonna start printing these out now, cutting them so that I'm not up late at night, stapling and doing all that stuff. That's kind of stuff that catches up with me personally. Looks like you got your stuff handled, but yeah, I don't. So I'm gonna try to knock out as much as I can ahead of time. Okay, let's see. Who looks better? I think the one, okay, so by my eye, the colors are a lot warmer for you guys. I'm thinking the one on the left looks a little better with this particular pink color. Woo, that's bright stuff. Yeah, I think I'll do the darker one actually, oddly enough. But first, opera pink. Okay, you go on top of the electronics to dry. Perfect. Excellent choices. Richie says, gonna hit the sack, guys. Thanks for the streams. Richie, thank you so much for hanging out. It was nice to see you here. Go get that sleep. With 2 others at a table, space is limited. How was it, 8-footer? 6 foot? That's crazy if it's 6 feet. A nice plate of envelopes with a little marinara. Okay, so then I think I'm gonna try to stick with this brush. It's super soupy. It has enough of a point, I think. This one I like, but it's too small. This one's too long. So this one's the Goldilocks. Maybe, we'll see. Who are you? Raphael number 10.
Game
I
begin.
think is that 8,400? I think that's 8,400. If it matters, let's see. All right, so then around here with the super bright. Oh, look what it's doing in the pan. Look at how it separates. So certain papers enhance that, and then techniques that I'm still not familiar with will enhance it. Like maybe if I dip my brush in water and go back in and bloop it, maybe I'll get something more interesting. Here, let's try. That did nothing. I might have let it dry too much. All right, let's see what that does. This opera pink is UV reactive. I was delighted to find that out. Let's see. See that? We rotate in shifts. That makes sense. So it's a 6-footer then. I applied for TwitchCon. I don't think we'll find out until June if we get in, or I get in. But it didn't say how much their booths were. I didn't say table because it's like a 10 by 10 area, I think. And they give you electricity and you get a countertop space. So I sent an email asking them how much the booths were. And when I corrected myself to say Artist Alley, they didn't get back to me.
Game over.
So I guess I'll find out. I don't think it's very expensive though. That's a lot of space. Yeah, usually James says about the table sizes. I think, so San Diego, you get 4 feet. Ontario Comic-Con Revolution, I think you get 8 feet. I think it's 6 feet at most other conventions like WonderCon. Where else? I can't think of. I think Tokyo Comic Con might have been 6 feet. All right, here's what I'm thinking. Something like that, and then bleeding out to those other weirder colors. Let's give it some bleed room. That's pretty. And then next was this more muted purpley pink color. It looks like a flower or something. Kind of interesting. We'll see how my tape holds up when I peel it. And I said I was going to use the darker of these. I didn't even grab, wait, which one? I just went straight for the one color, I guess. And I didn't try the other. I thought I for sure did. Did it dry that fast? Ugh. That's one way to find out. Have to watch the VOD. What? What did I do? Let's see. Okay. And who are you? All right. Okay, that looks like that one. Let's see. Was it you? Okay, this one. Found him. Oh, yeah. You should rest your hand on the wet paint. Pro tip. Got like this unintentional little halo around her arm. I didn't get the paint right up against it. Electric. The purple gobbled up a lot of the opera pink that I put in there. I wonder if I can Let's see. Super saturated. It's got a little tiny bit of a wave to it, but not super warped. I'm not supposed to blow dry it because it's supposed to dry naturally to maximize granulation effects. Kind of like her shirt. That shirt is just one color. Whoop. Let's see. Kind of a yellow lavender thing. Let's see what you did. Kind of the same. He's all camouflaged. You can't see him. As Elsa says, let it go. Oh, I'm so bad at that. Hi, Chris. Yeah, I have to set aside. But fortunately, I do have that what I'm assuming is plate manga paper to play around with. So this stuff is made for line art. I don't think I need it. I think it'll be just fine with the microns that I prefer to use. So, let's see. Let's change that. So what I'm expecting with this paper, I picked it because it felt a lot like the hot press fancy watercolor paper, but it's not at all that. So I think it's gonna be warpy. And I think whatever watercolor I do will be kinda uneven. Not that I was like literally just dabbing puddles of color, so I'm not too worried about evenness. Hot press. Airbrushes, for those of us old enough to remember what airbrushes are. I had an airbrush for a hot second. I didn't have an air compressor though, just cans of air. So I didn't dare ask for another can of air once I ran out. Feels like airbrushing is a steep learning curve. I saw colors, can't remember who, maybe Matt Hollingsworth, used minerals like salt or grains. Grains? Oh, like rice, even oils, and then applying them to paper artboard and using those for a while. I did exactly that. I did that for, what was the first thing I used it for? It might have, I did this really fun treatment to one of my Micah Gunnell's covers for Shrugged, and I printed his line art out in blue line, and I kind of watercolored pieces of it, and then I tried to scan it and then slide it back under the regular line art. It worked pretty well. It looked unique and I liked it a lot. But I think I did have one of those sheets of paper where it was like blues and purples, and then I dumped a bunch of salt on it, and it made like these little frosty looking areas. And I saved it in color and in black and white, and I use that all the time. I zoom in and use like a small piece of it but blown up, or I just use the whole thing. It worked really well with other stuff that I was working with, like I scanned it. What did I do? I think I took a picture of something like, we went to Joann's Fabrics and got patterned fabric, and I took pictures of it and scanned what I could, and I used those as textures for Lady Mechanica backgrounds. Yeah, so then I have like a lacy layer, a watercolory layer, some scribble stuff, ink splatters, and then I would swap the layers, like their the blending, whatever blending thing was, I would swap that around and swap the layers around and hope something interesting would catch my eye, and then just kind of focus on the weird, cool thing in the corner that happened and try to duplicate that. Using one roughly like t-shirts is easy. Learning to use airbrush as well, a heck of a learning curve. Yeah, and then is that where brisket came from? It's like a actual, like a physical mask to cut out, so you can block off the piece that you're airbrushing. Steve Urkel used to use that term a lot, brisket or something, when he was doing it digitally. There are a lot of techniques with watercolor like that: salt, rice, alcohol, plastic wrap, etc., that can produce some interesting random textures. And I know of some comic colorists that do backgrounds with lots of tricks like that. Scan them, then colorize and use them in comic backgrounds, yeah? Either acetate masks, reusable, or Frisket, one-time use, cut and place. Oh, okay, that's a specific thing. I thought it was just all cut out masks. Hey, when you learn in Photoshop, or I guess any program like that, when you learn how to make your own brushes, you can make your own brushes out of, like, I can make a brush out of the black and white version of that watercolor thing that I did. And you can just layer effects all over the place. So when I did this last night with Grump, I didn't let the ink dry enough. And first thing I did was just smear his eyeball. So I'll try not to do that with Manny. Brisket is really thin adhesive material. I had no idea. I thought it was just a little like stencil mask thing. Cutting it without cutting into the board is another art. That's starting to sound like the halftone paper stuff. I've seen great results from Walden Wong with torn up post-it notes to mask figures for inking coloring backgrounds. I bet pros really could they could just grab yesterday's mail and figure out how to make it work. We went to a gallery a few days ago, a gallery opening, and somebody took colored pencils, like thousands of them or something, and they chopped them so they could see the core of it, and they made a 3D sculpture of, I think one was of lips, and I can't remember what the other one was, but they used like the colors, the actual colors of the color pencils from their like chopped core ends to kind of give it the color that it was supposed to be. For some reason, I was thinking of the color pencil, like I thought you were gonna make art with me, but not like that, and I just got sad. The color pencil was like, oh, I guess, thanks. It's not a commentary on the art itself, just the color pencil feeling. Some of the Photoshop brush presets are made from me dry brushing paints on illustration board and scanning the good ones. And I killed one scanner with charcoal dust, scanning in unsealed art for presets. Wait, and I killed one scanner with charcoal dust, scanning in unsealed art for presets. So charcoal snuck under the glass? Is that what happened? Wow. Yep, under the glass, onto the calibration strip inside the scanner. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for your sacrifice. Okay, so I'm gonna assume this is dry. It's meant for, you don't have to wait that long for micron to dry on comic paper. That's what it's made for. Mine died from being almost 20 years old, says James of his scanner. I can't remember if we ever had a standalone nice scanner. I feel like we did at one point, like in the early 2000s. We had a decent printer and a decent scanner. But no? Never had a scanner? I guess I'm remembering from Top Cow, right? Okay, Joel's like, no. I think I'm just mixing working in Top Cow and working at home. Yeah, I really want to get a nice scanner, but we've got too many machines in here right now. Not too many, we have just enough machines in here. So we'll hold off on the nice scanner. We have an all-in-one scanner printer thing. It's actually really handy because you just send stuff off to print and it's got all the paper inside, rather than my nice printer that I just got, the, what was it? Canon Pro 1100 something? That one you have to stand and, well, you don't have to, but feed in certain art papers individually, and they're really nice, but it's not like a, just send it, it'll figure it out. You kind of want to watch. I do anyways, since it's brand new. to the side of his desk. Notices one document scanner is from 1998 USB 1.0, but it also has SCSI, is that how you say it? SCSI port? That's an old one. Document scanner. Chris, do you have a drawer like I do of like, I might need this cable? It's ancient, but you never know. I can't get rid of them. Okay. Let's see. They have some like tomato ice cream at Salt and Straw. They have I've never heard of this pie before. Lemon chess pie? At first I thought it said cheese and I was like, okay, then it said chess. What is that? Joel got that one. He liked it. It tastes like lemon something. It was good. But they have this tomato one. I'm gonna have to try it. It's the new June flavors. I never got the Matcha Man. They ran out before I can get it. Sadness. I have boxes of those cables and I lend them out to friends doing digital archaeology about every 3 months. Every 3 months. That's more than I would expect. The only time I was ever able to help with some old archived files where I had them on hard drives that are just sealed in those anti-static envelopes. It was for an old book that I colored, and someone, like once every 6 years or something, this person would contact me. It's like, hey, do you have these files? And at first I spent a long time looking for them. And I did have a bunch, but the thing was I was working split time from at home and at Top Cow. So the stuff I had at home wasn't necessarily the done files. So I just sent him whatever I had. And it almost made it worse because he almost had his files. So it was, and then like 6 years later, hey, I'm looking for these files. Do you have them? No, I don't have them. I don't. I think he would have been happier if I just said no in the first place. Getting partial stuff. Okay. So let's see what we could do with this one. Hi everybody, says Manny. Having a great day. Okay, got it. What do you think? I think I'm scared now. It's gonna be fine. This is how they do it. It's how pros do it. Oh, I'm shaking all the stuff. Okay. Safe. Everybody. Alright. Guess it's gonna be okay. Oh! Oh no. Well, it was the black eraser dust. I thought I went too hard. This is a discontinued Sakura eraser that I really like. They still make a type of eraser, just not in that shape. Here it is. I guess I could just use this and be done with it. No. So this one I planned to use a bunch of these colors on. These are all kind of Manny colors anyway. All right. So I might want to use this itty bitty brush to start on the middle. Okay, see, I'm remembering now. I like to do their skin tone and then the that little eye shading wet on wet. So I need to have both colors ready. I think I like this color. I like both of these. Or these three. This one. And that. Well, in person that's a little dark. These two might be good. I might not need to mix anything for his eye shadings, so just go for this one. Is this the same as mine? Hold on. These look a lot alike. No, this one... Okay, let's see. They're both schminke. Both they are super granulation variety. But mine is like a bluey lavender, and I think this one might be a little bit more of a... like a warmer color, warm gray, cool gray, warm gray maybe. Let's see. Let's find out. Don't leave the brushes in the water. All right. Let's see. Put you somewhere safe. This guy. Compared. Yeah, you can even kind of tell. Mine has a darker pool in the middle. This one and that one. Okay. See. Yeah, different. I'm gonna use that one. more Manny. Here you are. Cole doesn't like his titanium buff as much as I like mine untouched. It feels the same right now as the hot press fancy watercolor paper. Like that smoothness. It reminds me of markers.
Game begin.
And then like a dip of orange. Do you have any here? Make it easier? Not really. What happens if I let that little drip of water drip down to the barrel? What is it? Will it just absorb into the brush and not transfer onto the paper? I never let it. I always dab it off. That's an experiment for another day. Accidental damage. Or purposeful damage. All right. So, what kind of jacket haven't I used yet? Just checking those things. They're not granulating as interesting as I'd hoped. All right, let's see. Mr. Manny. I could use one of these darker colors for his jacket. I still want to use this one. What do you want, Manny? You want that one? All right.
Game over.
Big brush. Splooshy brush. Okay, kind of like that. Let it dry. So far, I can't tell a difference between this Eon. Wait, is this Bristol? I googled their Eon's manga size paper, and I think it just said plate. It's very similar to the hot press arches, whatever. That one. That one. It's, well, a technique aside. Yeah, this is unfair. I smeared this one. Feels so similar though. Okay, hold on. All right, it smears on the plate and it kind of adheres nicely on the arches. Here, I'll show you. I'll do it again. What is that? Racer dust. Okay. Let's see which. So this is the fancy watercolor paper hot press, and this one is the plate something or other. Looks like all of Eon's comic boards are hot press. Oh yeah? Okay, so they're both hot press. This is fancy watercolor. This is for manga ink stuffs. Hold on, I'm running out of similar color. Gosh, they're really similar. What is going on? Juicify. I got these nice drying, granulating colors here. Watercolor paper, Eon paper. You know what? I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They have a vellum-like artboard, but it explicitly says toothy. For some reason, I read vellum and my mind thinks like, ooh, no, thank you. But I can't, maybe that's just how I used to feel. Because I don't even remember what it was like. All the rest are ultra smooth. Eon on the bottom. Arches? Is that arches on the top? They're granulating watercolors, which is why they're crummy. So maybe, let's see, is that true? I think I might have just been heavier handed with this one. I was gonna say it absorbs better in the watercolor paper, but the reddish one is pretty similar. Okay, what else? What else we got? What about for background bloomy stuff? It did kind of cover up some of his ear line art. What color do you want your background to be? I have some, it doesn't have to be granulating. That's too dark. Okay, so go lighter. So he pops more. Or just a different, completely different color family. The purple would be nice. That one. I don't think they Eon sells the manga paper anymore. Yeah, my eye keeps going to purple. Maybe darker purple on the top. And then let it fade out. To what? Maybe the yellow ochre, would that be too weird? Let's do weird. Yeah, Chris says you've got a reddish and a yellowish, so something bluish or purplish works. Yeah, but maybe that's why I was like feeling the purple. I can try to force this combo. Purple to this weird schminke color. So top and then come down with this. Let's do it. We'll start. Okay, so what happened with this one? I didn't put enough pink and the purple overtook it. So, should I let it dry a little? Trying to learn. Learning's hard. I'll start with the lighter color and go too high. Let it dry a little bit so it doesn't creep as much. Let's go for that. I think that's a technique. Peri is glowing with girl power. Yeah, she looks like she's about to power up. Okay, let's see. It's just easy little things to try to learn about paper and let that be the focus rather than how am I to draw this thing? I don't know. Grabbing this one. So I'm gonna go a little higher, let it dry a tiny bit, and then come in with that purple. Okay, we'll see what that does. Where's my purple? You live by the brown. That's the one. I just need one more hand. Okay. So something blend. Whoa, it's a big old. There's no way the tape is gonna hold back the tsunami I just made. Hold the line. I always like it when it's in its swirly phase, but then it dries and it's just kind of even. Everything kind of evens out. I'm gonna try to let it sit. We can take bets on how much watercolor seeps under the tape. My beautiful tape job. I still have his eyes to do. That's easy. This is a little tap of Payne's Gray. I always water my colors down too much. I think, does watercolor dry a little lighter? Is that what I'm experiencing? Wait. So, what's going on? The paper is warping, so you can see where the deep end and where the shallow end of the paper is now. Deep end, shallow end. I should put the watercolor paper under the same stress test. You're not going to be dry until next stream. That's a hazard. I'm gonna let it go. It's gonna do your thing. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same with this, like really lay in with the, what color was I using? This one. Well, it's already, I still need that third hand. Okay. You know what? Okay, I saw someone do this. I'm gonna do it next time. I need a little board. Kind of like a piece of, like this MDF I have, but smaller, and then tape my watercolors to it. Okay, so you got a puddle. It did take a lot more water than the Eon. Here's, go over there. Look at that. All right. That's an even test. Well, I want you to I want you to live, I want that green to live up in the top area. So I think we're gonna have to hold this for 3 days till it dries. Shadow, you're not pleased? You're not impressed? So then, okay. Should we, I don't think I have any more bussing around to do. Hold on, can I just, where do you, can you be right there? That's too much of an angle. All right. Let's see. It's maybe mostly dry. I feel like she needs, like some shade of like greenish blue, like a bright one. Just like, I don't know, not splash. Maybe splash. Is that like a, should I gouache her up? Should I splash some gouache? Do I have that color around? Have a very subdued, all my buttergrump gouache colors are out. That's just too blue. It's the shade of blue green that doesn't want to print at all. It's kind of like a mint green-ish. There's a little bit of blue in it. This is just greeny green. Can I mix one? Let's see. So if I add blue to this guy, maybe. Why are you always juicy? Hold on, this has... It's dusty. I wish I could just shake it and mix them up, because then it's just going to be dry and chalky. I'll have to, at least you can just add water. That other color I added water to, it actually kind of worked. Oh, this is, what is this? I guess I've got some white hanging out. All right, let's see. So that color, what if I mixed a tiny bit of this color? Let's see. I don't want to smush around with my nice brush. What else do I have? This color. And force this to happen. That color is better than like the green color. That's the bulk of what I put into this little dish. This is not how you're supposed to use these. Let's see. So it's gonna just look, it's gonna kind of disappear. What if I just get the pure blue color? Oh no. Many purple everywhere. Maybe. Hold on. I just... I'm gonna tint this. I think this is some sort of, here, I can tell you right now. This is gonna take a while. Hold on. It is like a watered down bleed-proof white. Let me see if I can tint it. I make a lot of a color I don't need and then not enough of one I need to cover a large area for. Okay, let's see what this does. It looks like a bluish white.
I am here.
Oh, Nicole, how are you? The little voice thing sounded like a question mark. I'm here. How you doing, Nicole? What have you been doing? How you feeling? "26-month streak." Thank you so much. Really, thank you. Been okay, super busy the last couple of weeks. Yeah, sometimes busy is good, sometimes it certainly is not. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to get a darker blue. All right, there we go. Let's see. Weirdness intensifies. Yeah, it can be. Sent my youngest by train back to Washington. So much quieter here now. Okay. Quieter. So can you relax or are you a little nervous? Like, my baby is far away. That kind of thing? Or are you just like, oh, peace? I think they will be okay. Okay. All right. So let's see. I feel like I can see some seepage under here. Let's see what this looks like when I pull the tape off. No, that wasn't what I thought it was. It was over the tape. They just had a super loud energy, even though they weren't a loud person. Oh, that's interesting. Loud energy, but not a loud person. So this piece can fit into the vending machine. I put the pencil line under the tape, hoping that I could just erase the pencil line better once it dried. I don't think it would have mattered in this case since it's so dark anyway. There she is. So this is the rough. It was this nib. I think these are speedball nibs. I'm not even sure. This guy. And various watercolors. All their stuff is still here except their clothes, so my other kid and I are getting it all together and such and making sure it's all packed. And we are rearranging the house, kind of. It's been fun. It's gonna be like a refreshing start. That's kind of interesting. So I'm pleasantly surprised with the rough paper. It's not as crazy as I was thinking it was going to be. That's a lot of texture. For some reason, this one is fine, but this one is like really hard to work with. It's not maybe it's just not my favorite texture. Someone else would like it a lot. It's too patterny. It's too grabby. No, this one's better. So what are you doing? You're not dry at all, but you are doing a nice color thing. Oh. Okay. There. There's a little, funny little shape there.
Game begin.
Should I pull the tape off? It's still wet. Maybe I'll let it dry. Yes, that's what I'm hoping. Moving my bedroom out to where my craft room was. It's lots bigger. That sounds really nice. And who else do we have? Manny? Manny's got his own things going on. It's like, I don't know where I want the purple to go. So then, this is not watercolor paper, so the water is just sitting, taking its time. I tried to pour a lot onto this one, and it behaved a little better. settled a little faster. A little bit. Yeah, and the rough soaked it all up. But don't worry about it. That's why the Micron didn't work very well. Just skipped and dried right over. Alright. Is there one I didn't try? I did the hot... I didn't do cold press because all of my paper is already cold press. Okay. Here, let me put my favorite. I'll put periwinkle. The most completed of the ideas. And let's sign it. Do I have purple? Will this show? Let's see. Oh, what happened? Okay. This one might get angry, but I'm gonna try it anyway. What does cold pressing do? I think it kind of... It smooths out the texture a little bit. I'll show you, hold on. Let me sign this one. Like a toddler. Perfect signature. Okay, so here's the deal. This is what I've been trying to familiarize myself with. So for this watercolor stuff, you can get a bunch of different types of textures to your paper. And I'm trying to figure out, well, okay, sure, but what's the difference? How do they behave differently? What do they do? So I'll show you. Man, he got his purple everywhere. Okay, so here's hot, here's cold, and here's, I'll get the rough right here. Okay. So this is hot press. This is kind of the one that I used, a similar one that I used for, oh here, this one. It's really smooth. It's not as absorbent as the other ones. The paint looked just more even. Cold press, I didn't use, but it's kind of in the middle of rough and hot press. And this one was the rough. So the most texturiest of them absorbed the paint kind of nicely. The paint just set on it. I don't know, it was easier and I like it. It made more interesting textures in the way in the paint, like the paint strokes. Oh, well said. You know what I mean. So and then here's the difference in the textures of them. Oh, there you go. So the one on the far left is the hot press. It's the smoothest. I guess it's kind of like an iron. Ironed out all the wrinkles. Cold press. And then rough was just left to do its thing, I guess. So rough is the most textured. I like that question. How do you cold press paper? I would have to watch a YouTube video to see how actually they do that. I'm picturing, yeah, I would have to imagine how they would do that. I think it would be an interesting process to watch. I don't do it personally. I would just, you just buy the stuff. So I think they put like mushy paper, wet paper pulp on some sort of screen and they smear it out and let it dry. And then after that, they do things to it. Something magic. I don't know. I bet you Chris knows. But yeah, that's why sometimes some paper has like a back and a front. And the back side, I swear that stuff is backwards. It looks a little different because one side was drying on on some sort of screen of some sort. And the top side is a little different. Let's see. Here's the two cold press samples. So I wrote C on the back side. And the blank one is the top side. So the underside is smoother. I guess because it dried on a flat surface. I don't know, because then don't they press it coldly? Yeah, it's a good question. I'm barely learning how to use this stuff, let alone how it's manufactured. Okay, so let's see. I am completely out of room with all my paint booby traps. Can I sit you right here? Is it safe? Okay. There. Yep. You'll be fine. Let's see. Fix this. There they are. Manny, Grump, Periwinkle. So, with that said, ominous clouds behind Manny, yeah. They're doing a really good job at avoiding creeping into his hair, so that's the whole wait till it dries technique that I'm finally having the patience for. Yeah, I'll have to see how that dries. He still needs his t-shirt. Yeah, so, alright, so then what can we do next week? I think, oh, I need to start working on my little Grump. I don't know, there's somewhere in between gaming cards, like Magic the Gathering, and tarot cards. And they're gonna feature people from Grump's world. So I need to start working on those and see if I can't do them in a way where I can take them to the printer, the risography printer. I don't know. I like to bite off more than I can chew, so yeah, and that needs to get done. Grumpy clouds behind Grump. Yeah. And Peri's just like splatter madness. Okay, so thanks for watching, everybody. It's good to see you again, Nicole. Glad things are quieting down. Busy but quiet. Chris, Vince, Shadow. Yeah, it was good to see you guys. Yeah, next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, and probably Wednesday too, unless we got something going on. But I'll let you guys know. You can go to the Discord, because I'll always post like what's going on there. Let's see, it's enter. Yeah, there it goes. All right, and with that, I'll say good night. Have a good one, everybody.